rebounding, and I think who can take care of the basketball.
Dartmouth and Yale is our matchup tonight, and we thank you for joining us for the Ivy League on ESPN. We are ready for a little Monday night basketball action. Laura, we have a couple of the leading scorers in the Ivy League on the floor tonight, and Mackenzie Egger, 24 for Yale, 16.2 points per game, 9.7 rebounds per game in the starting lineup tonight for the Bulldogs. On the other side, Victoria Page is the number 5 scorer in the Ivy League. Egger's 4th. Victoria Page is 5th, and Page will make the start today. It was a little iffy after the Princeton game the other day whether she'd be able to go here 2 days later, but she is on the floor.
That was a huge positive action when I saw her warming up. Wasn't sure. She didn't play the whole second half of the Princeton game.
Right into the three-pointers. Our first-year player from Turkey, Zeynep Ozel for 3. Ozel's been a good three-point shooter. Now she takes over the team lead by 1 over Victoria Page, 26-25, and made threes. Our first possession of the ball game, Kiley Capstraw, a junior from West Orange, New Jersey, on the miss for Yale. Dartmouth already with a three-point made field goal. They're playing against one of the top defenses in the nation against the three in Yale. Catch inside, Austin, 5-0, Big Green.
That high-low look from Claire Meyer to Olivia Austin is so effective. They had the defensive player completely pinned.
With Sanaya Moore. Moore was not listed in the starting lineup for Yale today as Olivia Austin drives the other way. And it's 7-2. I had Avery Lee listed as a starter. In fact, they still have 0 up on the board. I'll double check, make sure that we have the numbers right. There wasn't a uniform switch as Dartmouth and Yale. 3 for the Bulldogs, no for Lucy Lynn.
One of the things we're seeing already is Yale likes to play very aggressive man-to-man defense, and Dartmouth is definitely taking it to them and trying to go by, and almost, if Yale's overplaying them, just really attacking.
Ball flipped out of the hands of Egger. Here comes Dartmouth the other way. Page could have taken the 3. Instead, takes a little bit shorter. No good. Dartmouth fights for the rebound. Yale comes away with it. It is 7-2 early on. Out of the corner, down it goes, and that's Avery Lee.
Yale can definitely fill it up. They've got shooters. Dartmouth can't let them get hot.
Another way, Page. Can she get a second chance? Going to be tied up. Take a look here at, it's going to be Yale basketball on the possession arrow. Zeynep Ozel has played 16 games here as a first-year player for Dartmouth.
She's come in and really owned the point guard role from day one, and Coach Simoneau has so much confidence in her ability to just be that floor general. And it allows Victoria Page to do what she does best, score.
Moore on the drive, Egger. And back it comes the other way. Pull up for Ozel, no good. A little bit more up and down than I probably expected. Lee, that's no good. 7-5, Dartmouth keeps the lead. Offensive rebound, second chance for Yale. They didn't go right back in with it. Capstraw left side. Lee feeds inside. Egger out to Capstraw, no good. Austin has the rebound for the Big Green. Dartmouth trying to make it 3 wins in 4 Ivy League games to open up the Ancient Eight season, and a foul on Yale on Lucy Lynn. Let's take a look at Mackenzie Egger, the 5'11 senior out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And for the season, her number's terrific. 16.2 points per game, 9.7 rebounds. And Dartmouth certainly will have to mark where she is. 25, Meyer. Now gives to Page on the drive. Victoria all the way in for two.
And again, as I said, this Dartmouth team is going to go right at them, try and get by them, and take advantage of the fact that Yale wants to play almost overly aggressive.
20 is Thybulle. Lee with a pull-up, and that's off the mark. Second chance, basket, and Thybulle, a senior, puts it in for Yale. 2-point game at 9-7. Yale won the season opener against Monmouth, and they've been chasing wins ever since. Trying to get an Ivy League win tonight. Ozell, no good. Rebound, Yale. Bulldogs have certainly matched up height-wise well with Dartmouth, and we're about even in the rebounds. Turn around by Thybulle and give her two more.
Nice job. Very good job in that mid-post. Taking what you get. And she turned around, wasn't going to attack Claire Meyer.
There's Austin. Tried to get the pass down low to Claire Meyer and rolled out of bounds. And that'll Dartmouth 4 for 9 shooting, and Yale 4 for 11. Rebounds are 7-5 in favor of the Bulldogs. Page off the inbounds and gets the finish with a right-hand scoop.
A nice job taking advantage of a mismatch. Page takes Lee inside and posts her up, basically.
Dartmouth will force that Yale offense out, and it's Egger who gets her first opportunity to score and converts. 11 all. Austin for the big green, comes back to Ozell. Page, Eldridge has not had many touches yet, and now Kate McDonald in the game. Yale foul on Marissa Chapman, a first-year player from Middletown, New York.
Ozell using her speed and change of speed there to really go by that defender and get fouled.
Ozell solid from the line. That's just her 5th miss all year. Dartmouth as a team shoots 62% from the line. Yale the same. Dartmouth 12, Yale 11, 4:05 left in the first. Monday night, teams playing here on Martin Luther King Day, where's the Civil Rights Day in New Hampshire's way they call it. Here is Chapman on a drive, gets inside, had a good look, and the ball out of bounds will go to Dartmouth.
Dartmouth doing a nice job playing disciplined defense and applying pressure while not fouling. I didn't know, could have gone either way on that Chapman drive, but Alex Eldridge kept her hands to herself and really, this Dartmouth team is disciplined on defense.
They really don't commit a lot of fouls, do they? Here's Page. Shot no good. I looked at the team totals. Yale's committed over 300 fouls. Dartmouth has committed half as many. And we've got away from the ball a Yale foul. So that likely was an illegal screen.
It looked like there was an elbow that was thrown at. I saw Ozell go to the floor.
There you go. I saw Coach Sims' reaction.
Yeah, I think she was worried that she maybe have gotten hurt.
Yale's Thybulle committed the foul. So Dartmouth gets the ball back here. Each team's made one 3-point field goal in the game. Zeynep steps back, misses the 3-pointer, and it's a Yale rebound for Egger. Feeds Chapman in the front court. Spin move. Didn't get it to finish. Gets a second chance, and it didn't go. Yale will get another offensive rebound and kick out for a Lee three-pointer that's good.
Lee trying to get her team fired up with that three-point shot. I mean, it should be noted they are looking for their first Ivy League victory today. This would go a long way in building their confidence.
McDonald denied inside, so the outside look for Eldridge is no good, and then a Dartmouth foul in the battle for the loose ball. Yes, no foul. Yeah, they did call the foul.
Yeah, they both.
They did. I was looking at the wrong referee. It's on Cabe McDonald.
That's they both kind of slammed into each other and then just dropped. I didn't know who they were going to call it on. It was pretty even.
Claire Meyer back into the ball game for the Big Green here. 2:18 to go in the first. Yale with the lead, 14-12, thanks to 2 3-pointers by Avery Lee. Capstraw goes down low and out of bounds, but we've got an offensive foul on Egger on the play down low. So that'll be her first, team's fourth of the quarter. So one more foul and Dartmouth will go to the free throw line.
I don't know if we'll get that replay later, but really Mackenzie Egger was thrown into that foul. She was going to get that pass that was led ahead of her, and Victoria Page was standing there and just really took the brunt of that.
And our first action tonight for Nina Minakazi into the game for Dartmouth. And that's just not a pass you want to throw there. Well, too tough for Meyer.
Dartmouth is forcing a little bit here now. I will say Yale is doing a nice job playing very physically and making it tough and bumping cutters, making it difficult to get in the flow of offense.
Lee comes back up top to Capstraw, looks back over to Coach Eshe. See what the play may be. Inside move, Thybulle 2 for Yale. And Thybulle has 6 points to start the game. Yale off to a 4-point lead. Minakazi back out to McDonald. And out of play, and the ball goes back over to Yale. Yale won the men's game that was played earlier today down in New Haven, 83-67 over the Big Green. Yale won a 2 unbeatens on the men's side, along with Princeton, which survived their game today. Under a minute to go. Egger behind the 3. Deals it into the corner looking for Capstraw. Feeds back out into the corner, and Egger no good. Another offensive rebound for Yale. Lee, three-pointer, comes up short. Offensive rebound, good for Egger.
One of the keys for Dartmouth in their preparation was to keep Yale off the offensive glass. They're averaging 13 offensive boards a game, and you saw that right there. They're getting 2 and 3 chances at it, and if Dartmouth wants to win this game, they've got to keep Yale off the glass.
Dartmouth going for 1. That's 6 offensive rebounds in the quarter for Yale. Ozell on the kick through. Minakazi out. McDonald for 3. No good. And Yale just turned the ball over. There's 2 seconds left. That was a shot clock violation, not an end of quarter.
That's right.
Dartmouth's going to get a chance here to steal some points.
Now, that is just, you got to be mentally focused and realize and look at that scoreboard and see it was a shot clock violation and not the end of the quarter.
Definitely unusual. Question may be, do they need to look at the clock
to see if there's more time?
Yeah, they want to look at the clock and make sure that they have that right. That may be one of the first times I've ever seen that. Very unusual at the end of the quarter. We clearly heard the horn, but that was for the shot clock violation, not the end of the period. Meantime, it's a 7-0 run. Get another look. Here's the McDonald 3. Now, buzzer, shot clock violation. They think it's the end of the quarter, and the ball's just flipped out of bounds.
Marissa Chapman was like, "No, I'm headed to the to the bench."
But it is a 7-0 run here for Yale.
Well, it'll be Dartmouth ball, I believe, underneath, and they'll get a chance for Coach Sim is going to get some chance to draw up a quick out of bounds play and maybe stop that run and get a score to go into the second quarter.
Which could be significant because Dartmouth's going to get the ball to start the second quarter as well.
Tom Hoyt announcing and explaining to everyone in the crowd who many of them are scratching their head trying to figure out what's going on.
They are. I think they're.
I don't, other than how much time is left on the clock, it's pretty straightforward. She threw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
It should be Dartmouth ball underneath. Not sure why what other discussion points are happening.
Hey, we're going to be back here on Saturday afternoon for a 2 o'clock game, Dartmouth and Brown on ESPN Plus, and love to have you join us out here, dartmouthsports.com for your tickets. But I think Reno already playing Brown for a second time. A little bit unusual in the schedule.
It is, and there's only 2 weekends where they play back-to-back games like they used to do in the old Ivy League scheduling system.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2 point.
Interesting.
They're just about right. Maybe 2, maybe even a tick less when that ball goes out of bounds.
We see Coach Sim drawing up a play for her team to take advantage of the 2 seconds that are left.
We had a little conversation with our referee, Ashley Rivera, about replay before the game, and we were talking about it. I mean, it's instances like these where even though you have 3 officials, you may not have one referee who has a clear decision on the way things should go and why official reviews like this have come into play. This is a long one.
Yeah, this is
a long one.
Very long for this type of call. And it's really interesting. And of course, the officials, you want to get the call right, you want to get the play right, but this, at some point, who does this impact? Is this impacting Yale and their momentum? Is this good for Dartmouth? We'll see. But I will say,
we're going to have a 2-minute break right after we run one more play.
That's right.
3-minute break, whatever it is.
If Dartmouth wins today and goes 3-1 in the Ivy League, a win, this would be the first time since 2012-13 season that they're 3-1 in the Ivy League.
How about that?
So there's a lot on the line. And then for Yale, who won their first game of the season and then haven't won since, that's got to seem like a long time ago. And you can see they're playing with a lot of urgency. I think you've got Capstraw and Egger and Thybulle, who are veteran players who are really anxious to get it done and just get that first win in the Ivy League under their belts.
maybe actually don't kill it in that scenario because they gain possession and then Yale's players simply threw the ball out of bounds. The time is when the ball hits out of bounds, Dartmouth ball.
There you go. So again, as I suspected, it wasn't quite 2 seconds left. Thanks to John Capolino for coming over. 0.9 is what Dartmouth gets. Now, can they make something happen on it? Dorina Reek into the ball game, but they didn't get her the basketball in time. Now, I think the case here was the clock started early. That's the...
Oh, no. We're just...
So the clock should not start, not when it's thrown in, but when it's touched, right?
Correct. And that's definitely what happened. It was thrown in and someone pressed that button. It's on whenever it touches the player.
Right. So ideally, right, Dartmouth wants to go high with this there, and then so you see the light came on before anyone touched the ball.
Right.
So I guess they'll give Dartmouth 0.9 again. The problem is where Dartmouth is inbounding it, you want to throw high to a Dorina Reek, but that overhang makes it almost impossible to do it on that end of the court.
Definitely another.
It's a challenge.
A structural issue that makes it very challenging.
Well, Ian Maluski, our producer, is up there, so we can't take this down today. After one, Yale 18, Dartmouth 12.
Brought back memories of watching Jenna Clark for Yale, the prolific point guard that was so much fun to watch.
Dorina Reek does open the second quarter. Page for Dartmouth up and a kind bounce. Gives the senior her third made field goal, 18-14 the score. Page has 6. Reek, the senior, getting just back into the lineup the other day. Comes down, Egger goes low, Chapman, and a foul on Chapman. Will be her second. Chapman, along with Thybulle, Egger, Avery Lee, Kiley Capstraw opening the second quarter for the Bulldogs. Page for Dartmouth gets blocked inside by Thybulle, and it'll be Yale on the breakout. Dartmouth's Nina Minakazi, Doreen Arik, Zainab Ozell starting the quarter along with Alexandra Eldridge. Catch inside, and good for Egger.
Nice job finding that cross court. That's the Capstraw-Egger connection.
20-14. Dartmouth turns it over. Just the third Dartmouth turnover so far the first half. Yale shooting 8 of 20, 40% in that first quarter. Dartmouth 5 for 15, 33%, including just 1 of 6 from three-point range.
And I really think it's the offensive rebounding for Yale right now that's got them ahead. They've had 6 offensive boards, scored 7 second chance points.
6 offensive rebounds, yeah. 16-6
Yeah.
is the overall rebounding edge. Sanaya Moore scored early in the game for Yale, back in, and Thybulle now drains this one, and Yale has opened up an 8-point lead on Dartmouth. Eldridge for the big green. Who's going to be the shooter for Dartmouth? You have Page. He can certainly go off and have big games. Catch Minakazi. And yeah, got it in. Nina Minakazi for 2.
And that is exactly what Dartmouth is reading so well, is that wing pass is being so overplayed by Yale. Minakazi did a great job reading it and going backdoor.
Here's Lee will go up against Ozell. They'll switch out. Page will come out and play. Arik has the assignment on Thybulle. Lee takes the pass and finishes it off.
Lee is having a very strong game so far, shooting the three, getting to the rim, doing it all for this Yale team.
Dartmouth's Ozell. Rebound Yale. To your point, Lee has 8 points in this game. 12 is her career high.
Couple of bodies on the floor there from Dartmouth, no call. And like I said, Yale will play very physically.
Minakazi with Arik in the lane. Drew some attention, but Nina couldn't finish it. Yale bring it back and a chance at a double-digit lead if Lee can finish. She cannot. Loose ball for Dartmouth, but nobody there to help. Now the move inside for Eldridge. No good. They'll fight on the floor with it, and the ball will go to Yale with 6:33 to go in the second. And the Bulldogs with an 8-point lead. Take a look at this one again. Eldridge trying to get it up, and a really good defense there. 10 is Kiara Odom, a first-year player from Syracuse.
And I believe Odom started today. And 2 freshmen in that starting lineup for Yale, and then 2 seniors and a junior. So quite a bit of youth, I think. And same with Dartmouth. They're starting the point guard spot and the 4 spot. 2 freshmen. So lots of young talent.
Clock has run down to 10. Egger on the step back, wants to take on Austin and able to get inside and finish. Mackenzie Egger, a terrific basketball player, has given Yale a 10-point lead on the road here in Hanover. Ozell all the way inside, got hit, no call. Page will feed low, and Dartmouth able to finish off the play. Olivia Austin, while Ozell was over having a chat with the official underneath the basket.
Page just is such a good decision maker. She could have easily gone up and taken that shot, but out of the corner of her eye, she found Austin wide open.
That'll count for Egger and 1. Dartmouth foul is to Nina Minakazi. Just the second Dartmouth foul of the game. Egger able to get all the way inside. Egger kind of used her leverage a little bit to push Kate McDonald out of the way that gave her the path to the basket. Mackenzie, 71% free throw shooter, finishes off the three-point play that gives her 11. And the lead is 11 for Yale, 29-18. Page corner for Minakazi. Austin with some banging of bodies underneath, gives it up. Here's Egger again. Stops, pops, jumper for Moore, no good. Fight for the loose ball. And it's out of bounds to Dartmouth, I believe. Yale sub Lucy Lynn back into the game for Grace Thybulle.
This Bulldog squad is definitely playing with some urgency here. You can see Egger and Thybulle and Lee are really playing so physically, attacking the basket. Tough one there on the, I think they called a travel.
Big Green will get it back. 5 minutes still to go in this second quarter. Big stretch of this game for Dartmouth. Here's Austin. Will work against Egger. Oh, threw the pass right into the hands of Yale. Capstraw leads the break the other way, and then Yale gives it back up, and we've got a foul here on Dartmouth. And get Nina Minakazi. We are.
Easy free points, basically, that Dartmouth has given Yale. And Dartmouth was prepared. They knew going in that was one of the keys to the game for them in their preparation. Yale is averaging 13 offensive boards a game.
Kate McDonald not only gets the block, but the ball goes off Yale, and Dartmouth wins the possession there. Nice play. McDonald showing 9 blocks on the team. Claire Meyer, the only one with more than that. Freshman Tahira Mohammed, number 3 into the game for Dartmouth off the timeout, the under 5 timeout in the second quarter. And Dartmouth with some work to do here, down 29-18 to Yale, and Yale.
A foul on.
Is that on Dartmouth?
Moore. I believe it's on Moore for Yale.
Gotcha.
Got the deflection, but then Kate McDonald was standing there and kind of plowed her over it, what it looked like.
Dalila Ashe is in her 3rd season as the head coach at Yale. Saw there a one-time Princeton assistant. There are a few of those in this league, huh?
Definitely, there's quite a few.
Well, that program set the standard in recent years. Feed goes low. That's a foul on Lucy Lynn for Yale. And that is her 2nd personal foul.
They did a nice, Dartmouth did a nice job. If you look, it's clearly an advantage. They got the switch on a ball screen, and so Kate McDonald had the guard who was guarding Ozell on her. And so that was a really heady play by Ozell.
Inbounds play comes to Page. Lee had her wrapped up, but Page able to work free and still gets the shot and finishes.
Very nice step through, gathered on 2 feet and powered it up.
Maybe that gets Dartmouth going. It's a 29-20 lead for Yale. Egger working against McDonald. Comes back to Capstraw, and a travel called on Grace Thybulle. It is interesting, Lori, that, when I look at this book, all but 2 points for Yale have been scored by their 3 seniors, and you had talked about how the leadership kind of needs to shine through now. This team fighting, and Dartmouth gets an answer the other way as Zeynep Ozell drives and scores.
Absolutely, and the urgency and the understanding of the importance of every possession in the Ivy League and getting a win today would mean.
Good work by Thybulle to save the end line, and again, she's one of the seniors, and now she's in double figures with 10 points early on here in this one. Yale leading, Dartmouth answer the other way, and again it's Ozell. 31-24.
And Dartmouth is taking advantage of the way that Yale is defending that ball screen.
Lee out of the corner. Victoria Page picks the pocket. It's a 4-on-2 for Dartmouth. Page, yes, for 2. And Dartmouth on a little bit of a run now.
Beautiful floater by Victoria Page. Really smart to not try and take it all the way. The defenders were waiting and set.
And Yale coach Shea decides to take the timeout here. And so much in the Ivy League has been on, maybe a little bit on who you've played and who you play in the league. Two of the leading scorers in the league playing here today, and Victoria Page continues with a terrific season. Coach, coming into today, Victoria Page is shooting 45% from the floor. It's a really good number for someone other than a center.
Well, she just is smart. She makes good decisions. As I said earlier, she takes good shots within the flow of the offense. She doesn't force a lot. If it's not there, she's going to find someone else and work toward a better shot. This is when you're a senior and you've worked all 4 years. She is their captain, their leader. She is having an absolutely stellar senior season right now.
I'd love to do something with this Dartmouth basketball team that they've never done before, and that's go to the Ivy Madness. Dartmouth within 5, 2:20 to go. First half. Dartmouth had the lead early in this game, but Yale has now controlled for about a quarter or so. Here's Lee, comes back to Egger, 8 on the clock. Back to Lee, Page guards her, denies the penetration, comes back to Moore, who knocks it down with 2 on the clock. Sanaya Moore, first-year player from Bradenton, Florida, is the only player other than the 3 seniors to have scored for Yale in this game. McDonald gives back to Eldridge. A sophomore working on the left side. Goes all the way through and comes back with the ball. Reverse layup, good.
And that was, again, really smart by Eldridge. They switched on the ball screen, so she took advantage of her foot speed against Egger.
They'll call jump ball and give it to Dartmouth. Mohammed for McDonald. The Big Green will be the substitution with 1:22 left. And Dartmouth with a chance to get this back to a 1-possession game. 33-28. Yale led by 6 at the quarter, 18-12. First meeting of 2 between these ancient 8 rivals. Dartmouth gets 2 more. A lot of points coming inside.
I think that's like the 4th or 5th time they've run that scissor cut off of the high post and gotten a great drive.
Showing 24 points in the paint for Dartmouth in this first half. Out of their 30, Egger didn't go.
What a great job by Austin. Fell on the floor, and then the shot went up, and then she got back up and got that rebound.
37 seconds left. Page looks up, 15 on the shot clock now for number 15. Mohammed wasn't open, but Ozell is. 8 on the clock. Austin will come out to try to set a screen. They wanted to go back inside. Instead, it's Eldridge who takes it and finishes it. She beat the buzzer. 33-32, 13 seconds left.
And she beat the buzzer with 2 players on her and still finished with a little reverse.
Yale, 5 seconds. Stops, pops, good for Marissa Chapman, and we'll go to the locker room. Yale 35, Dartmouth 32. Dartmouth started to find its legs a little bit in those last 5 minutes of the first half.
We got a ball game here. This is great. This is so much fun. Both teams really battling to get that Ivy win.
Stay with us. We'll be back to Hanover, New Hampshire with more Ivy League on ESPN. After the half, Yale shot the ball extremely well in that first half. And they kind of set the tone, as you pointed out, by being physical. Expect more of the same, I would guess.
And when you look at it, neither team took a ton of three-point shots. And so they're pounding it inside. They're trying to take it off the dribble. Yale is continuing to pressure Dartmouth and be very physical with them. Dartmouth responded in that second quarter, made a nice comeback, and now has started to figure it out a little bit. We'll see if they can continue to make sure they're playing different disciplined defense and then keep Yale off the offensive glass. That's going to be really important as well.
So we'll watch the bigs inside for Dartmouth, right? Claire Meyer will make the second half start and did not have a rebound in the first half. Well, I'm sorry, she had 2 in her 8 minutes of work. And gets the assignment inside and forces a turnover. Meyer just reached back, knocked the ball through the hands of Egger down low, and Dartmouth will get it up. Down 35-32. Dartmouth's last lead in this game was 12-11, so it's been a long time here now that Yale has played from in front. Page, that'll be travel. Good defense by Yale. I think that was Avery Lee. Now Yale will bring it up. Yale will be at Harvard in their next game on Saturday. Capstraw Back to Lee on the way. Comes up short. And another offensive rebound and a second chance. 8 offensive rebounds in the game for Yale. Yale by 3 points, minute into the second half. Egger, a 3.
She can score on all 3 levels. She really is one of the best players in the league right now. Just between hitting a 3-point shot, driving against pretty much anybody, being able to score in so many different ways.
Ozell gets the finish and a foul on Lucy Lynn for Yale. Chance at a 3-point play for Zeynep Ozell. Take another look at it there. Kind of got a hip check. Probably should have been a foul before the shot.
There were a couple of fouls, certainly. It looked like she lost her footing and just kind of fell into Ozell.
Stat I love on Zeynep, she's one of the few point guards in the league with more assists than turnovers, which, again, for a first-year player is terrific. We have it on the men's team as well with Amundsen. 3-point play, 38-35. Dartmouth putting some pressure on Yale. And the way that looked, I think you may see more of that.
Yeah, Yale looked a little surprised, wasn't sure what to do, but they've got it under control now. But Dartmouth got to run the shot clock down a little bit for them, forced a quick shot.
Meyer got tangled up there with Thybulle, and they didn't call it. Thybulle took the ball away and goes in and scores. Yale 40, Dartmouth 35. Third quarter in Hanover. Yale try to win for the first time in Ivy play. Page, and that'll go.
She plays so well when she gets into the paint off of 2 feet so that she makes good decisions. She can step through, she can take her time. She has a whole package of finishing moves inside. I love her game.
And a good free throw shooter, and that drive into the basket gets her to the line a lot. Knocked away from behind by Ozell. Saved in the corner. Yale for 3, no good. Rebound pulled down by Eldridge. Now let's see if Dartmouth can convert. Eldridge takes it all the way down. And a foul on Yale. Probably didn't need to foul there, right? Chapman now into her 3rd foul.
Looked like Capstraw was trying to tell her that after. Like, don't get in there. I got this. I had it under control.
Yeah, Eldridge was moving into a position where she wasn't going to be able to shoot the ball. And now we'll get free throws.
And this is where I think Yale has to be careful in this half. They average 19 fouls a game. And so Dartmouth is going to want to continue to take advantage of that and drive to the hoop. So they have to play smart.
Lead is 2. Dartmouth traps at midcourt. Loose ball. Have to push it across. They're across the timeline in time. Lee down on the end line will bring it back out, and Yale will be able to set up the offense. As Coach Shea can shout out instructions from right over on that far side. Here's Egger. Rebound McDonald for the Big Green. Dartmouth can tie or take the lead. 40-38. Ozell. No. And the ball to Dartmouth. .6:37 left.
Look at the desperation and the fight to get that ball is impressive. You can see both teams scrapping on the floor. You love to see it.
And over at the scorers table to talk about I think they're talking about whose possession. Did they have the possession arrow right? That's what they were talking about.
We've had a lot of conversations this game, or a lot of questions, and of course the officials wanting to get the call right, wanting to make sure that they're not.
Zainab Ozel, 13 points for Dartmouth. Mackenzie Egger, 14 for Yale. And going to send the players back over to the sidelines.
We see Coach Ashe.
Where we're at, the officials didn't come over to fill us in on what they were looking at. We'll see if we can get an answer for you. Today, after playing 3 consecutive road Ivy games to start, Dartmouth is starting a 4-game Ivy League homestand here. Continue with Brown and Cornell and Columbia will come in for the first back.
That's right, and the I know women's basketball alumni weekend to watch those 2 games will be exciting to have all of they're honoring 5 championship teams. Of course, 5 of the 17 championships that Dartmouth has won for Ivy League women's basketball. And again, we said it before, a win today, Dartmouth would improve to 3-1. First time since 2012, 2013. And it would snap a 4-game home losing streak to Yale.
So they ended up putting 13 seconds on the shot clock. Dartmouth, Cade McDonald had it, and it didn't go. Olivia Austin with a rebound, and Dartmouth will set up the play again. We're at 40-38, 6:24 left in the third. McDonald, they're yelling the clock down to 5. Ozil, no, and a rebound for Yale. Dartmouth still struggling from outside. A lot of the points have come in the paint. In fact, 30 of the 38 points are inside the paint for Dartmouth on 15 field goals inside. Here's Egger. Yale has made 3 threes in the game. Lee has a couple of them. She has the ball here working against Eldridge. Now 8 on the clock for Yale. And we're going to travel. Turnover Yale. Yale averages 19.8 turnovers per game. And that was their 11th.
And with this possession, Dartmouth could tie it up.
Yale brings in a first-year player from Mission Hills, Kansas, Abigail Long, number 2. And she'll be assigned Ozil, who feeds inside and a foul. Goes on 20 blue. Grace Thybulle with her second foul of the quarter, rather, on Yale.
Thybulle not happy with the call. Let's see. Clearly those arms got tangled up, and
was the third foul of the quarter on Yale. 5:35 left in the third. Page for the tie. No, rebound Thybulle. And Yale will continue to hold the lead. They'll look to Thybulle. Swings it back over. Long passed up a 3-pointer. And they'll kick it around. Again, you always watch Egger. McDonald has the assignment there. A little bit of motion offense. Egger had her pocket picked by McDonald. The loose ball on the floor will result in a tie-up that will keep the possession with Yale. But Lori, only 4 seconds on the clock.
I got to think they're going to get Egger the ball here, or Thybulle, and power it up.
Well, they're going to reset the shot clock. Say that Kate McDonald had possession of it. And Yale will get a full 30 as they'll inbound from underneath the overhang. They'll go deep. Egger pointing right, wants to go that way. Chapman against Page. Inside, the hook, got it.
Nice job by Chapman.
Her second bucket of the game, Yale by 4. Under 5 to go in the third. Austin taking on Thybulle. A little bang with his shoulder. They'll tie her up.
Boy, that was a physical possession. Thybulle and Austin going at it underneath and then getting triple teamed on that.
Timeout on the floor with 4:36 to go in the third. Yale, the Dartmouth ball as we come back to action here in the third. Yale 42-38. Ozil leaves for Page, puts it on the floor, in the lane, up, and she'll get to the line, though. Yale's Lee, her first, team's fourth of the quarter. Dartmouth is only 2 fouls in the game.
Again, playing off of 2 feet so she can step through once the defense commits.
No good for Page. And 75% free throw shooter, which means the odds say that this one goes through the hoop. 3-point game, Yale in front. Dartmouth has not led since 2:50 left in the first.
Showing a little three-quarter court defense, trying to take some time off the clock.
Thybulle for Lee. Austin has the assignment there, got the screen, goes back low. Thybulle's shot, no good. Foul on Dartmouth.
Nice job by Yale recognizing that Thybulle was wide open with a little miscommunication on defense.
Zaynab did what she could to get over.
Yeah, but she was a little late. But there was clearly between, I believe, Meyer and Austin, miscommunication. It happens.
On the way, no good. Got 1 out of 2.
And there they are, the Bulldogs getting an offensive board off of the free throw.
And then out of bounds.
As a former coach, that is a big no-no. You're letting the free throw shooting team get an offensive board. That can't happen.
Here's Egger. Lee, they're going to give her an and one on that. And Yale now has Avery Lee in double figures with 10. The first foul on Meyer. We didn't see a whole lot of contact there.
Lee did a nice job stepping around Meyer. It just seemed like their legs got caught up a little bit.
Avery Lee has 11. Yale 46, Dartmouth 39. Back out to 7 with 3:41 to go in the third. Eldridge able to recover, plenty of time in the possession. She'll take the shot and nail it.
Nice step back by Eldridge.
Eldridge has 7 tonight for the Big Green. Chapman from Egger.
Really nice back cut. Took advantage of Egger drawing all the attention.
Roselle travels with it. Got a little out of control underneath, and the ball goes back to Yale. And the Bulldogs playing just like they did in that first half of the second quarter when they opened up some separation, built an 11-point lead on Dartmouth. Big Green going for the steal, and they come away with it. McDonald forced the bad pass. Dartmouth comes back. Kate McDonald for 3. No good, off the mark. Dartmouth 1 for 11 from three-point range. And their points have come inside. We've harped on that a little bit. This Chapman free throw line. With Doreen Reek in the game for Dartmouth. Egger now. Lee. 8 on the clock. Lee to the free throw line. Back to Chapman. Chapman in trouble. Gives long shot off the window for Thybulle. Big play.
Thybulle's trotting back, looking like, oh, maybe I got lucky on that one. Tossed it up at the end of the shot clock, and it hit the bank and went in.
Her first made three-pointer, her first three-point attempt of the year. Yale 51, Dartmouth 41, 32nd timeout for Coach Sim. And this is where they usually come, right late in the shot clock. Uh-oh, I have to shoot it. And it went down. Thybulle with 14 points for Yale. At a high of 18 on January 6th against Yale. 4-year player. 408 career points coming into tonight. All right, and here we are in another big stretch for Dartmouth. Finding themselves down 10 with 2:04 to go in the third.
Well, you saw the full court pressure on in the last possession. I would imagine that they're going to continue to look to press a little bit to get some additional offensive possessions.
Right side, Eldridge all the way. Alexandra now with 9, including 5 here in this quarter. 51-43, the Yale lead is 8. Here's the drive. Chapman the other way, goes by the hoop and puts it back in.
A beautiful drive by Chapman. So smooth. Goes past 2 defenders like they're not even there.
The Dartmouth down 10. Can't afford to match baskets. Page pops. McDonald had the shot at the rebound, and now the ball will go to Yale on the possession arrow. As Austin comes back into the game. Yale 53, Dartmouth 43.
1-2-2, 3-quarter court pressure here. Looking to trap at half court and get a steal, and there we go.
Dartmouth gets the ball back. 13 Yale turnovers. Yale shooting 52.3% for the game. 23 out of 40 for the Bulldogs for the year. 36%. So well above their season average. Eldridge with a minute to go in the third. Page on the lob for Arik. Doreen will give it back. Ozell with 8 on the clock. Ozell will dribble back. It's got to go now. With 5, got a screen. Ozell step back, three-pointer, no good. And there's the violation of the shot clock. Didn't hit the rim.
Well, Dartmouth is 1 for 11 now from three-point line.
And only 2 offensive rebounds for the Big Green in the game. So when they've missed,
they're not getting
the second shots. Long, and she'll carry it all the way in. 55-43, Yale has extended the lead to 12, the largest lead of the game for the Bulldogs, who are trying to get into the win column for the first time since game 1. Here's Ozell. Comes back, lob inside. Arik will get to the line with 2 seconds to go.
Great job by Arik. Almost had that three-point play. Very nice drive by Kiley Long going across the lane to get that layup.
Doreen Arik at the line. First is no good.
Correction, Abigail Long, not Kiley Long.
Rebound Yale, and they travel. Dartmouth has 9/10 of a second. It's kind of an unforced turnover by Yale right at the end of the quarter.
They had a couple people trying to get possession and they shuffled their feet. Again, that's some of those unforced errors that contribute to Yale's high turnover rate.
We're going to look at the replay monitor to determine the clock and where it should be here before Dartmouth gets the inbounds play, which in effect gives Coach Sim a free timeout here to try to diagram the inbound play. Well, Yale is clearly looking for something inside, whether it's to Doreen Arik or Dartmouth changed their lineup a little bit here. Yeah, Arik would be the one big.
I believe it's 0.6 that you would have to tip it.
I think they're going up this time wise.
Okay.
And clearly a game where for Dartmouth every possession is going to matter here. You know, Yale is sitting at 55 points. They average 54.7 a game.
That's right. They're rolling. They've got, you can just see they're playing with a level of urgency and desperation, and they can taste it. They can taste the win. They're ready. They're going to do everything they can.
10 big minutes, and now we're going to get some pushing and shoving, and Ashley Rivera gets into the middle of the players, and they're not going to call a foul.
No, when they're stacked up like that, the defense has a right to get inside and get into that stack, and I think that's what she was explaining.
Got to do them within 5. Arik, we get a foul away from the ball. And that's going to give Victoria Page free throws.
Wow, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of those final seconds, tenths of a seconds of the quarter. And this game, again, so important for Ivy League standings. The implications here, really that battling for that 4th spot in the Ivy League. The first 3 teams in the league are all inside 55 of the net ranking. So the latest bracketology by Charlie Cream, Bob, projects Harvard and Princeton as number 11 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And then Columbia on the bubble. So 3 tournament teams, those top 3 in the NCAA.
That's never happened.
Correct. It's never happened.
Right.
So it just speaks to the strength of the top of the league. And that 4th team is just, it could be any of the.
Right. So that's why those games against all the other 4 are so big. Page makes both. That's a big 2 points right there. We'll see. Yale 55, Dartmouth.
Bit more of that to try and get some easy buckets in transition, but they have to continue to limit Yale to 1 shot, 1 contested shot, and make sure they don't get any more offensive boards than they need to, because that's really been their strength, and that's what they do so well.
Here we go, start the 4th. Avery Lee for Yale. Comes back over to Marissa Chapman. Looks inside. Instead gives it to Thybulle. They'll jump right side. Shot no good. Backside rebound for Dartmouth. The rebounds after that rebound for the game, Yale 30, Dartmouth 14. And 15 second chance points for the Bulldogs. None for Dartmouth. Dartmouth's going to have to make the most of possessions now. Page, it's up to her. She'll feed inside, block, And they'll call a foul on Grace Thybulle on that one.
Let's take a look, see what we think, Bob. Oh, we didn't get to look at that at replay, but it was pretty. There's been a lot of contact, and it's just been one of those games where the physicality, it's tough to call because it's banging on both sides.
Double miss there. Dartmouth's missed 7 free throws in the game as well. They'll press. Minute into the fourth. Yale 55, Dartmouth 45. Yale won that third quarter 20-13 to create some separation again. Egger takes the ball. Pass up top. Knocked out of bounds by Austin. It'll be Yale ball, but only 10 on the shot clock as they'll bring it in. Capstraw to throw it in right in front of us. Feeds Chapman. 8 on the clock. Chapman a long way out with 6. Chapman dribbles in. 3 seconds left. Lee is going to have to force it. It comes up short this time. Rebound to Dartmouth. Good hustle, though, in the corner by Mackenzie Egger. She very nearly got to that. And that, to me, Yale has not given up on any of these and turned a lot of second chance opportunities into points.
Certainly, that is their signature. That's what they do best, is they get to the boards.
Arik opens the fourth, sets the screen for Page. Come back left side for Eldridge. Eldridge pops from the free throw line. Good for 2. Double figures for Alexandra Eldridge, and the lead is 8. Yale led by 12, 55-43. Dartmouth scored the last 4 now. Cross court for Lee. Thought about the 3, then travels with it up top. Back over to the big green.
It's their 15th turnover of the game. Still under their average.
Just under 8 left now as Page brings it up uncontested for Dartmouth. Austin wants to make the move.
It's a great job by Lee playing defense on Austin there. Clearly a mismatch.
They called the foul on Avery Lee there. I think that they were thinking the other way.
I am very confused right now. I did not see the official signaling a foul.
They got to make these free throws.
The free throws are killing them right now. Any chance of creeping back in and
wow. Back over to Yale. Lee, by the way, stays on the floor with 4 personal fouls. I think for her offense more than anything. Now an 8-point lead for Yale. They have the ball. Minakazi got a hand on it, but that's going to stay with the Bulldogs as now Lee out and Abigail Long returns. McDonald in for Dartmouth. Capstraw, left side drive. They've had a look underneath. Instead kicks it out. Shot no good for Chapman. Minakazi has the rebound. Can now Dartmouth with 7 to go. And a chance to chip away a little bit more. Page, there's a lot of room there. Decided not to take it up. She'll feed Arik inside. Pass intercepted by Egger. Yale will bring it back the other way.
And that was just pure effort by Egger to get that steal. She slid on those those knee pads and tipped that away.
All about winning the possessions. Bad pass, unfortunate for Dartmouth, wound up in the Yale's hands, and Egger drains a three from behind the screen.
Wow. And that was a statement right there between the defensive play on one end and then coming down and with the shot clock winding down, hitting a three. That's your senior saying, I'm not going to lose this game.
58-47 Yale. Victoria Page, nothing but net.
Well, this Dartmouth team's not going away.
58-50, Page has 18. Yale, long, no good. They didn't need a three there, though. Right, could have run a little bit of clock. Worked it inside. Page for McDonald, and offensive foul. Dartmouth on Page.
Let's take a look.
Now, long was set.
I also think, given what they've called as charges earlier in this game, that's consistent.
Yale will push against the pressure. Thybulle safely across. Underneath, long runs through, double teamed in the corner. Shoots it anyway, no good. Thybulle and one. What a terrific play.
Let's watch as Thybulle sees that opening, takes full advantage, and after the fact, you saw the Yale Bulldogs at the free throw line chest bumping and getting each other fired up.
Thybulle has 17, and the lead is back to 11 for Yale, 61-50. Thybulle one off of her career high. Page going to try to will it herself. 20 for Page, 61-52, and Yale turns it over on the inbound. Dartmouth ball. We still have a lot of basketball to play, 5:13.
And just Egger brought her team in and just started telling them, let's go. We cannot afford to make those silly mistakes. We must. They're doing too many good things.
McDonald catch, puts it on the floor once and finishes it. Dartmouth back within 7. They'll trap. Eldridge, they're across, getting it to Thybulle. Back to Capstraw. Yale going to set up a half-court offense now, 13 on the clock. Thybulle working against McDonald. Feeds low, tough spot. Chapman travels.
So many travels on
Timeout.
this Yale team. They really have to clean that up. That was clearly a travel. And
big women's basketball on a Monday night. Yale 61, Dartmouth 54, 4:40 to go. Fourth quarter, Dartmouth ball down 7, 61-54. Roselle for Page for 3, good. 23 for Page.
that was such a clutch 3.
Here's the pressure. Dartmouth a little fresh after the timeout. Thybulle into the front court. Back for Egger. Dartmouth had been 1 for 11 from three-point range. They've now hit 2.
They sure needed that and brought it to within 2-possession game.
8 on the clock, 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Chapman had some trouble with the ball. No good. Rebound Dartmouth. Yale got a hand on the pass. They have the steal. Here's Capstraw in the front court. Thybulle, and one. Grace Thybulle, a career-high 19 points, will get to the line here. And with 3:39 left, Yale gets the free throw, Zell on the foul.
I give Capstraw a lot of credit there. She could have tried to force it in, and the defense was back fairly set, but she kept her composure and saw Thybulle trailing in.
Free throw on the way, good for Thybulle. Come back the other way. Here's Page. Two more. Front court is Egger. He's for Capstraw. 3:14 to go. Dartmouth still trying to run down the Yale Bulldogs. Jumper Thybulle, no good. Rebound McDonald.
Great job by McDonald chasing that board down.
Page again. No good. Loose ball, rebound, and a foul on Minakazi for Dartmouth. I have the score 64-59, to tell you the truth. We have 64-61 up on the board. But our stat monitor, yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, there we go. It is 64-59. They got that corrected, though, I guess at an important time. I'm going to keep it here. You had Page making the three-pointer. That cut the lead to 61-57. They got a three-point play, 64-57. Page scored again, 64-59. That's where we're at. Still got a game. 2:50 to go. Foul situation. Only 2 on Yale in the quarter, 4 on Dartmouth. So Yale will go to the line next shot. For the game, Yale 5 out of 6 from the line. Dartmouth is 6 for 15.
I think that's been a really difference maker.
Another terrific game for Victoria Page, though. Page has 25. Her career high is 26. Twice this year.
That's right. And the last time she scored 26 was against Penn in that victory.
Down at the Palestra. All right, here we go. Dartmouth presses. Avery Lee back into the game. Guard playing with 4 fouls for Yale. 2:38 left, so Dartmouth just needs a stop. They don't need to foul. Egger far side. Works against Eldridge. Now McDonald on the switch. They'll feed inside, throw it into the hands of Page. Dartmouth looking for the hoop. And Ozell. A three-pointer no good. Rebound loose on the floor. I think Minakazi had it. Did Dartmouth get a timeout? No. Possession arrow, though, to Dartmouth. And they'll give the Big Green 20 seconds. 2:17 left. You make a basket here. It's a one-possession game.
Plenty of time.
Inbounds play, Eldridge. Got some isolation inside, and it goes.
What a beautiful reverse layup at such a important time.
Yeah, you're going against a defender with 4 fouls, too. She knew that.
That's right.
64-61. Minakazi will foul, and that will put Yale at the line. Nina has 4. So Yale will go to the line with Capstraw, 58% free throw shooter for the year. It's Dartmouth's 5th foul.
I was just looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, well,
thinking,
it had 4 before.
That's right.
Because I went through the recap, and now the stat monitor has 5.
So probably not a smart foul by Dartmouth to put them.
They're going to check the total team fouls on Dartmouth just to confirm. Stat monitor has 5. Scoreboard has 4.
For this quarter fouls, we had it for 5. Yeah, because this is what we're studying.
Yep. So they can check with our stat table with the Justin LaFleur has officially who all the fouls are on Dartmouth in the quarter. It's not hard to bring up on the screen. Dartmouth has fouls in the quarter on Page, Arik, Ozell, Minikazi twice.
So that'll put Yale on the free throw line. Again, the importance of making free throws at this juncture late in the game.
Take a look at some Dartmouth highlights here, where a lot of them involve 15, don't they? Oh.
Look at that.
A lot of clutch shots. I think you know where Dartmouth wants to go with the ball when they need to make a basket.
She's just her mid-range pull-up.
I love this play too.
Mm.
Again, Lee has to let her go, and then the question would be, would Alexandra Eldridge knock it in? Eldridge has 13. Dartmouth trails by 3, 1:58 to go. Now we're going to the replay monitor to look at the fouls. That Alexandra Eldridge, by the way, 13 points is a career high for her. Victoria Page, 1 off of her career high. You have Grace Thybulle with 20. That's a career high for her, for Yale.
And Mackenzie Egger with 1 rebound away from a double-double, which would be her 7th. She currently leads the Ivy League with 6 double-doubles.
Her career best earlier this year, 28 points and 20 rebounds in a game against Merrimack. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of Ivy League women's basketball. It's not been as clean as our usual games.
Lots of questions. I know the folks across the table. Seems like there's been a lot of, and they're really good. They've been doing it for years. They're very experienced. There's a lot of questions tonight.
Coach is going to come over and talk with our officiating crew here. I mean, I guess, when you have you have the stat monitor, which has who committed the fouls and when, and we have instant replay. Shouldn't be that hard to match it up. 5 fouls are now up on the board, so that's going to tell you that Yale's going to the line here for the bonus with 1:58 left. But the game far from over.
Bob, you need to go out there and settle this for them. We knew this 5 minutes ago.
Capstraw will go to the line.
Well, we do appreciate the effort of our officials.
Sure. That was very confident for the junior from West Orange, New Jersey. So it is a 2-possession game. I ought to love that. If you're a Yale fan, a 5-point lead. Lee out. Marissa Chapman back into the defensive situation.
Coach Simoneau doing some offensive defense substitutions here.
Under 2 to go. Ozella's Minakazi right. Eldridge left. Now comes to Page up top. Victoria spin move in the lane. Finishes. Career high for Victoria Page. 3-point game. 66-63. Chapman in trouble underneath. Yale has timeouts they can use. Dartmouth ripped the ball away. It's a jump ball. That'll go to Yale. With 1:35 left. Yale does have 3 timeouts remaining. So Coach O'Shea certainly want to use those if he can. They'll bring Lee back into the game.
And Dartmouth does not need to foul here, but they are continuing to pressure.
Deep ball. Thybulle will be able to run it down over by the coaches for Yale. And now Capstraw will take it over. 15 on the clock. It's okay if Yale runs clock. The important thing is, can Dartmouth get a stop? They'll bottle it up inside. Here's Thybulle. Oh, and that's going to be a travel. Offensive foul or travel.
Clearly. Thybulle really forced that. She got so excited. I think she took a couple too many steps, was pushing back against her defender.
Could have just put the ball up. 66-63. And here comes Dartmouth. Victoria's in the right corner. Zeynep for 3 and a tie. No good. Rebound on the floor. Page got it, but try to get it up top. It's intercepted by Abigail Long as we go under a minute. Dartmouth still doesn't need to foul. 55 seconds left. 66-63 Yale. Chapman working out of a double team, and now Yale takes the timeout. With 49 seconds left and 17 on the shot clock. This is fun. Yale has certainly fought this entire game. They haven't really been in a position to try to finish one off. An improving Dartmouth club with a win here would be in that upper echelon in the Ivy League.
It would be huge for Dartmouth. Going through everyone the first time. They haven't faced Columbia and Harvard yet. But with wins already over Penn and Brown.
Get another look at Victoria Page. Comes in and scores for Dartmouth.
She has been absolutely incredible this evening. Every single time this Dartmouth squad needed a bucket, she found it. She was able to do it, and she did it in so many different ways, from behind the arc, from pulling up, taking it all the way. We just saw the spin move.
Battle of top teams in the Ivy League. Unbeaten's Princeton and Columbia going at it tonight. 3:48 left in the third. Princeton 36, Columbia 32. Harvard beat Penn today, 73-44. Crimson have lost once in the league. Dartmouth has lost once in the league. But trailing here with 49 seconds left. Yale to inbound it. Thybulle. A lot of contact there. Capstraw works it to the left side. 10 on the clock for Yale. Where are they going to go with it? 7 on the clock. Give it to Egger with 3, with 2, with 1. Violation. Shot clock violation, Yale. Dartmouth will get it. 32 seconds left. Timeout, Coach Sim.
It didn't seem like anyone on the Yale squad was aware that the shot clock was even close to running out.
Dartmouth will get to advance the ball into the front court. Do you need to go for the 3 here, Coach? Or do you play for 2 and foul?
I think they need. I personally, if they can get a quick 2, but I think you got to go for whatever the best shot that you can get. You have, and I know Coach Sims, she's got an option for both, and I think if whatever's open, you take it, and then you pressure. And I think they've had such success with their pressure that I think they can tie things up quickly.
Victoria Page has 12 points in the quarter, including 2 made threes here in the fourth. 32 seconds left. Page will take it. Page right to the hole. Dartmouth gets the 2. They're within 1. 66-65. Timeout Yale. 26.8 to go.
So now Yale gets to advance it. So they're playing defense in the front court.
Well, the one thing that hurts you here, though, would be a 3-pointer for Yale. Inbounds play. McDonald gave it back. Victoria Page right to the hole. 29 points for Page on 12 of 20 shooting.
She's having a game. Making things really interesting.
Dartmouth trailed this game 55-43. So down 12. They have rallied to within 1, but is there enough time? Chapman on the inbound. Foul, Dartmouth on Eldridge. And they'll put Capstraw back in the line. She did just drain 2. Mina Tate was out there for Dartmouth defensively. Will now go out for Ozell. Foul was on Eldridge.
Huge make by Capstraw right there.
How about that? 4 for 4 in clutch time. Yale 68. Dartmouth 65. 24 seconds left. And still enough time to decide you don't have to go for 3 again.
The key is if Dartmouth scores and then fouls right away again, they got to foul somebody besides Capstraw because she's not helping their case.
Well, I think they looked at the numbers and 58.3% for the year. But
Yep.
She's made them all.
That's right.
If you can foul Chapman, a 44% free throw shooter, 22 for Yale. Egger, their top scorer, is a 71% shooter. She's not the one that you want to foul. By the way, Dartmouth has held her to pretty quiet, just 6 points in the second half, 17 in the game. Here we go, 3-point game. Inbounds play, caught by McDonald. Back to Page. Ozell, she wants to tie. No good, off the mark. Rebound Yale. Dartmouth has to foul. Well, they'll go for the tie-up, and they get it. They tie up underneath. It's Dartmouth ball. Timeout Dartmouth. They'll use their final timeout with 11 seconds left. And now probably it needs to be a three-pointer.
Definitely. And hopefully if they can get it into Victoria Page's hands for the 3. Nina Minikazi's another great option.
She'd be in the game.
Ozell's currently 1 for 10 from 3 for this game, so might not be the best option. Victoria Page is 2 for 3 from 3-point line for this evening. Nina Minikazi's taken one. Hasn't hit it, but again, a traditionally very, very good three-point shooter.
It's a full timeout for Dartmouth. 11.7 seconds left. Dartmouth made its best run of the game early. Led 12-11 before Yale went on a big run. Dartmouth closed to within 3 by the end of the third. Yale led this game 55-45 coming to the fourth quarter. Dartmouth has won the fourth 20-13. Dartmouth,
No shortage of drama in this game, that's for sure. Very exciting.
Does come down to one play here. Where are we going with it? Inbounds Minikazi, and she'll go in and score. 7 seconds left.
They definitely need to adjust the clock when there's at least a couple more seconds.
So interesting, instead of going for the three, there's 7.2. We'll add a little bit of time on this one. My number, how about 8.2? There you go.
Wow.
We'll add a second. Now, foul's got to come quick.
That's right.
They make both. Dartmouth has no timeouts left. That's important to remember.
They won't be able to advance the ball and set up in the front court.
That's why the foul early is so important.
That's right.
Doreen Arik will check in for the Big Green. 68-67 Yale. Team set up here. Inbounds play will come in front of the Yale bench by Marissa Chapman with Doreen Arik guarding the inbounder. Long arms trying to get a hand on the pass. Yale gets it inbounds. Dartmouth went for the steal, but will get the foul on Eldridge that will put Kiley Capstraw right back at the line.
We'll see if she can keep her streak alive.
Capstraw, a junior from West Orange, New Jersey. Capstraw, 3-year player. Again, not shooting the free throws real well this year, but first is good. Career shooter, 74.4%. How about that? Trying to make it a perfect 6 for 6 here in the fourth. She does.
Wow.
Dartmouth needs a three. 70-67, 5 seconds. Page across midcourt with 3. With 2 for the tie. No good. Game over. Yale wins. Yale wins for the first time in the Ivy League. 70-67 they hang on. Dartmouth did get the ball in the hands of Victoria Page with a 3-point try to tie at the end of the game. It didn't go. Another look at it. Had a good look, but just a little bit off the mark. Had to rush the shot a little bit, and that'll do it. And Yale, in the end, it comes down.